What's going on, YouTube? Got the '08 right here behind me. Got a little bit of maintenance that we got to do today. Got to change the oil into it. I was just making a little video, have y'all come along for the journey, more or less. I mean, there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube on how to do this. I was just making one just to let y'all come along on the journey, see how it's done, how everybody else does it. Not criticizing nobody. Everybody has their own methods of doing it. This is just the way that I do it. But I got the bucket up underneath the truck right now. We're about to crawl up underneath there, get that drain plug out so we can go ahead and start draining the oil. I don't know if y'all caught that or not. But as I was up underneath there pulling that drain plug out, all I do is once I get basically to where I'm about to pull it out, I just kind of take the drain plug, tilt it a little bit to get the fluid more or less to go to one side, and then once I'm seeing that, I just go ahead and pull it on out and just let it drop down into the bucket. I don't know what everybody else does with their drain plugs, but I kind of like to clean mine and inspect it, see if there's any debris onto it that doesn't need to be there. Looks like it's still pretty good. Rubber O-ring on it, still looks good. That's a good sign. Oh, I need to get that cap on the motor loosened so it can have some better flow. Alright, yeah, just the cap, undoing it, setting it off to the side just to get some air up into there, do a better gravity fed, getting that oil out of it down at the bottom. And while that's draining, we'll go ahead and get up onto this oil filter and get it loosened and popped off. And I do have a little bit of a lift up onto the truck. So I've got two 3/8 extensions that I add together, put up onto the oil filter wrench, just to be able to reach all the way up there. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to get y'all to see. It's all the way up there. Alright, got that pop free. I wonder if I can do this without making a mess. Oh, there we go. Not too bad. Got it on out without making a mess. That's a nice little win. I'll set the old one into the box. Just let it sit there for a minute until I get that bucket out from underneath the truck, and then I can dump the oil into it. Grab the new filter, go ahead and open up a container of oil. I'll go ahead and dump some down in there. And what I like to do, get a little bit of that oil, rub it around that O-ring, kind of lube it up a little bit. Alright, I'm gonna go back under. I'll be right back. Alright. New filter is in. Now, when I do a filter, a screw-on filter, lube up that O-ring, put it up on there, screw it on, and then once I get it on where it starts tightening up, I more or less just hand tighten it to where I can't move it anymore, hand tighten, and then I'll leave it alone. Only reason why I have the oil filter wrench is when it's time to change, it seems like that hand tight gets a little bit more tighter, so then I just pop on that wrench, loosen it, and then there we go. Time to get it off, change it out again. I don't see the point in overdoing it. I mean, if you don't tighten it enough, you'll notice a little oil leak or oil spraying from right there, and just tighten it up a little bit more. Looks like it's about done draining. Let's see if I can get y'all turned around. I'm gonna go back up underneath there, go ahead and get that plug back in, get that bucket out, and then we can start putting the oil back in. Now with me, when it comes to the drain plug, I'll put it in, finger tighten it all the way up, take my wrench, ratchet, go ahead and not overdo it, but give it a little, oomph, make sure that it is tight. Take my rag, I'll clean up the area up underneath there, all around the plug, and then I'll more or less inspect it, later on that day to make sure that it's not wet and that, I do have it tight enough to where it's not leaking or dripping on me, but not overdoing it to where I strip the threads or bust that oil pan. Let's go ahead and get this oil dumped back in. And yes, I use a funnel. Just because I don't feel like standing up there. I don't have the best of steady hands, I should say. So staying up there and trying to hold that gallon jug, dumping it in there, I'd much rather just use the oil filter, let it go into it and just go straight down in. Now, if anybody is curious, I do use Valvoline, the premium blue, full synthetic, heavy duty, and the 5W40. I'm not going on the spill of, what oil should be used. I just prefer this one. This is what I like to use. That's a whole different ball game I don't even want to step into. But just for anybody that was curious, that is what I like to use. Two down, one more to go. All right. That is everything. Well, thank you for coming along on the journey with me. I just prefer to do all that myself. 15, 20 minutes, get it all taken care of. I get to use what I want. I know what's going into it because I'm the one that's literally putting it in. So, anybody else out there, I would suggest go ahead and do it yourself instead of taking it somewhere else and not really knowing what they're putting into the motor. But y'all have a good day. Subscribe, hit that like button. Thank y'all so much.